Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GSP. This is the fourth episode for the fourth Best Smash podcast. And how y'all doing today?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for asking. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a good weekend. It's been a good week. Looking forward to this
Yeah.
weekend as well.
We got a lot this weekend. And then before we get into it, again, no face cam. I'm having a bad hair day. You can call it a bad excuse, but you don't see what my hair looks like. It's bad.
You showed
and
me before the pod. It was
It
crazy.
is bad, and
Bro
we are
needs
on
a
a
cut.
time crunch,
Bro
so
needs
I don't
a-
got time to do it.
Yeah.
So next week's for sure. I'll have like a oh god, what's the do-over? Manicure? I don't even know. Y'all know what I'm
Yeah, you're gonna perm. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
perm. There it is. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Watch the Throne. We have our final two vote-ins. You're gonna have Karama taking the second one, which is shocker. And then for the third one, though, I mean, Jazara, I'll let you take that topic.
my man, Web JP, Chic player from New Jersey, best Chic player in the U.S. Came through. He got a bomb right at the end, like last 30 seconds. He got a huge bomb, put him right above Tarek, who he would have been a great choice as well for it. But obviously, I'm very happy that Web made it in. I love to see Chic whenever I can. So. Yeah, just very, very surprised. I'm very happy with the three people that made it in. Honestly, looking back at the whole list, this is probably the three people I would have wanted in. If it
Me
wasn't
too.
the three I said in the
Yeah.
earlier podcast, then that's a list I for sure wanted. So I'm cool with the three people who made it in 100%.
The vote-ins are
Yeah.
crazy good this time around.
Yeah.
Like usually,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really are.
usually there's a meme pick. We're not gonna no meme picks this time. I think like
It's always
Web
a fan
JP is
favorite,
probably
yeah.
like
We
the biggest
we
one,
get
but I think
a hungry box or something up in there. You know
well,
what I
hold on.
mean?
Hungrybox kind of he almost beat a Paul Kage. He was kind of
He was
Yeah.
cooking. I won't lie.
There's been worse choices than Hungrybox, but I think WebJP has honestly a decent chance against a lot of the players there, just because Sheik
Oh yeah.
I think has some
Mhm.
pretty good matchups. But also he could just get like the worst Sheik bracket ever. But that's kind of the great thing about these like summit style events is you have a lot of opportunities to mess up. So you can get a really bad groups and get a decent gauntlet, and even if your gauntlet's bad, you can still
Exactly.
get a good like final bracket. So I think WebJP has a lot of opportunities to make some pretty big upsets.
Definitely. And going into the tournament, the matchups are somewhat favorable for him. The main three players he's really looking to not match into is going to be obviously Acola and Mia, just because they're good and those are bad matchups for Sheik, and then DeBuzz as well, because DeBuzz is a master against Sheik. He has been since Smash 4, and Rosalina matches into her pretty well. So I feel like as long as Webb doesn't get matched into any of those guys, he has the chance to take the set at least.
Yeah, and like you said, with these types of events, everybody kind of has a chance. I think it was back in Summit, right, when Big D had that crazy run, and I remember his pool was like awful, if I remember correctly. I think I had Proto.
Yeah.
I forgot who else it had.
I think it was
Like Proto,
Morgana,
Tweak,
Aaron,
and Aaron.
Yeah.
It was
So
awful.
yeah, definitely a lot of those, kind of unwinnable matchups, but hey, was still able to make the best out of it. Had a great showing because at the end, all that really matters is that final bracket, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
And then I do want to give tribute to Tarek and Tarekatori for being so close.
yeah,
Just
they were close.
barely
They were-
not making
they were
it.
right
I will
there.
say, even though these were definitely these were probably my top three picks, to be honest, as Jasar said earlier. It would have been nice to see some international talent, because it's always nice to see international talent, but
Yeah.
I'm still not too miffed with the choices.
I'm really hoping they can make it in through Port Priority and whatever the other event is. Is it Rise and Grind is the other one, or
I
is
think
it
it's
unannounced?
Let's Make Moves Miami.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
And
I
then there's
think
an
it is.
unannounced one.
Okay, for sure.
Rise
We'll talk about who's going to get into those when it comes a little closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, do y'all have any final words?
I was gonna say Watch the Throne. It's gonna be super hype. The lineup is just crazy. I feel like they did a really good job at making it diverse, and somehow through the vote-in phases, it stayed like that. Like we said, it would have been cool to see some international people, but you know, shout outs to Mac, Little Mac Main on Start GG or whatever. He followed all the podcast people, man. But I'm sorry, I'm not a Little Mac fan. So I'm happy I got my character. I'm sad you didn't get your character in, man. Maybe next time.
I spent more money than I make this year to get Tarek
Hey.
in.
If it makes you feel any better, hey, the Olimar player didn't make it in either, so
Yeah,
we can
MFA.
both be
Shouts
sad.
to MFA.
Back, man. R.I.P. But yeah, I'm excited for the event too. It's definitely it's nice to have another invitational style kind of event. Obviously, it's going to be hard to replace or fill that void that Summit had, just because that's something that's been around for so long. It's just so
Yeah.
well established, right? That's why a lot of people were so sad whenever the final Summit happened. But I'm hoping that this is something that can start, a similar thing that Summit was able to do for sure.
I definitely think it can. I mean, the crew behind it is really solid.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they can do with it. Jazar, you got any final words before we move on?
Nah, man. Watch the Throne. I feel like it's gonna have a lot of success. A lot of really good people in this scene that have been in the scene for a long time, which is what we need. Summit was around for almost a decade, so the fact that we're able to get some people with a stake in the community, some history in the community is awesome. I really hope it works out.
Yeah, they have the
Especially
community's
this
best
quickly too.
interest. The what? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, especially this quickly too, considering like Summit just officially ended not too long ago.
Like a year
So for them to
turnaround.
turn this around, yeah.
Insane. Well,
Yeah.
I think we're ready to move on to all the events that have happened this week. We had 3 notable events. You had Bears 400, which was a B tier. You had Rewired Fest 2023, which is a B plus tier. And you had KAGARIBI, which was a P tier. So we'll start with that last. We'll start with Bears 400 because it was the littlest. For our top 8, you're going to have Jen and Syrup in 7th, C and Peanut in 5th, Web JP in 4th, Icy Mist 3rd, Jackal 2nd, and winning the whole thing was Zamba. Of course it is.
Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, no, not really surprised.
Jackal
I
did
thought
take a
Goblin
set.
was gonna win it. Jackal did take a set, and that's not surprising. Jackal
Yeah.
is an extremely talented player.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zamba, top 10 caliber player if he isn't top 10 already. So to be able to take a set off of him is great. Overall, I feel like the top 8 was really cool. My guy Webb, 4th place. You know what I mean?
Yes,
No
that's not
slouch
bad.
right there. Peanut, I've been saying it. Peanut got the W on Tilde. He never played him before, but I kept saying that he beat him for some reason, and he did it. So I just know the future. I know the future.
Yeah, for sure. I think I had Zombo winning this event. I'm pretty sure. I think I also mentioned Jackal might do good. So I'm kind of happy to see those results. Happy to see Web JP up there as well. It's always very cool. Kind of surprising that Tilde didn't make it into top 8, but again, I mean, you kind of caught it. I remember you talking about it too. So no surprises there. But yeah, I didn't get to really watch a lot of this event. This is kind of like I watched more of the other 2 events, so I didn't get to like really watch a lot of these sets. But I'll definitely try to go back and watch a couple of them.
Yeah, Tilde was my pick to win. So
Yeah, I knew somebody picked it.
I think Leon was my person to overperform.
Yeah,
He lost
yeah,
to,
or-
I think it
yeah.
was Mercury in loser side, which is like a phenomenal
Yeah.
player. You can't feel too bad about that one.
Yeah.
And then Tilde
Number
lost
1
to
Philadelphia.
Tilde lost to Syrup loser side. But I think the best for the tournament is easily from Ice Mist. She harmed the loser side. She lost really
Yeah.
early on to hold on, I'm trying to find it right now. She lost to Marcus, the Game Watch player. So I don't know
Game
who that
Watch,
was.
yeah.
Huge shouts to Marcus for that because Icy Mist is like insane. I think she's a top 50 player in the world. I think she's incredible. But she was able to beat Beast, Mercury. That's to get into top 12 as well as some other players, but those are the most notable ones. And then to get into top 8, she beats Guy. Then she beats Syrup. Then Peanut. Then Web JP. Then she loses to Jackal for 3rd place. So insane run from her.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
crazy. Some of those matchups, Luigi is pretty good for Samus. Icy Mist has a good history against Steve, so that's good. But I mean, like, to be able to beat like Web JP and Sheik Samus, that's crazy. To be able to beat Mercury and Joker against Samus, those are matchups that just sound so hard for Samus. Rushdown characters like that are always up in her face. She doesn't really have a chance to set up and slow down the pace to where she wants to get it.
We've been seeing a lot more Samus results too. That's another character I feel like
Yeah.
has been kind of on the rise.
I wonder why.
Kind of good.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all, okay, really quick. Where do y'all put Samus on the tier list? I got our top 20.
I wouldn't say.
I'd have to make a tier
I think
list.
really
but
highly of Samus.
top 25 at least. Yeah.
Let me look at the tier list real quick.
Judge, while Imar's doing that, we can slow segue to Rewired Fest, and then we'll just
Yeah.
release this. After Rewired Fest for the top 8, you're gonna have Atomic and Rocky in 7th, Death Spade and Beast Mode Paul in 5th, Spargo in 4th, Mudace in 3rd, Light in 2nd, and then Gluttony won the whole thing.
Yeah. So this one was crazy. Very
Yeah.
top heavy tournament. You had some good regional threats up in there as well, but definitely at the top, like that whole, you got 3 top 10 players at this event, which is pretty crazy. Pluto, my guy, ended up taking it. Luckily, he didn't have to run into Spargo. Even though he has been able to beat Spargo, that's definitely his hardest matchup at this tournament. Got multiple dubs over Light. I love to see it.
Destroyed Light in the first
Destroyed
set.
him.
Second
Yeah.
set was really good. That first set was bad. Like that set made me think, okay, this match is -2. All I can think is like, there's no way Fox has any chance. He hit every single edge guard with Dare. It was insane.
It's so hard, and Light's the type of player that's going to be able to adapt, which we saw it go to Game 5 in Grand Finals, which is awesome. But Gluto, Game 5 Gluto, he's different, dude. He don't lose. He just does not let himself lose Game 5s.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the all-time clutch players. I will say, as I watched Rewired, right, I was thinking, I almost called it all, right? Because I remember I said, okay, I was like, top 8. Light's going to end up playing Gluto. That's not a crazy prediction, Obviously, they're going to make top 8, right?
Yeah.
But then on the other side, I said Mutates was going to beat Spargo. Spargo was going to climb back and win the whole tournament. And first off, we got to talk about Mutates because that combo is crazy. I'm sure you guys have all seen it.
Yes.
We all know what we're talking about. We don't even got to describe it. Just that combo. So good.
Exactly. And then, Spargo went to losers. I was like, okay, this is where it starts, right? But then he lost to Light. So it's like, man.
And Light cooked. Dude,
yeah, Light. Oh yeah.
I feel like that's the rushdown characters generally, they do a little bit better against Cloud, and we've saw Spargo be able to mitigate that for the most part against everybody. Like he beats Light a lot of the time they play. He beats a lot of these players, but Light he sauced him up, bro. That last edge guard that he got on him, I'm sure Proof's gonna have it playing right now. That was so nasty, dude. That had me wanting to pick up and play Fox. I had to hop in training mode for a little bit with him after that.
Yeah, and they're 2-2 this year, which is actually pretty good. Or I think they're 2-2 this year. I'll double check that. And in group luck here, I forgot, but Light has a 2-1 record versus Spargo in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, Light played really, really good here. He definitely could have beat Gluto in the reset. And we'll talk about how good Gluto is in just a second, but big ups to Light for his run to second place. Mutates as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the style he's playing well. God damn, he's playing well.
He's different.
Yep. Yeah, he's crazy with the game, especially with Peach. Like, that's just such a hard character, I feel like, to pilot. And, I mean, nobody does it like how he does it. So overall, very, very impressive stuff. I just also wanted to mention quickly, shout outs to Texas. I know I talked about this a little bit last time. My underdog pick was Skinny the Pooh. He was one game away from top 8. So, and I remember he was like, I think he almost like didn't go to this event. So, for him to
Spargo too.
Yeah, he did. He took a game off of Spargo as well, so very impressive. And then also had a couple other Texas names that I saw last time I talked about a little bit. Ruskinerd, he did pretty good. I see Atomic, of course. Yeah. So overall, Beastly did good too. He took a game off of Gluto as well. Very impressive showing from Texas, I would say.
Texas is one of the best regions in America for sure.
They are, yeah. Texas is so strong. It's just they're all kind of spread apart, so you don't ever hear about them as like a whole region. You know what I mean? But collectively, there is so much talent up in there. And just to give a little bit of light to the other people that made top 8, since we've talked about the top 4 so much, Death Spade making a crazy run. Very impressive from them. Rocky. And all these JV grids, I've been manifesting this Rocky, this Rocky
Every
W's,
episode.
Bro. Every episode. So Rocky came through and beat my one of my picks to overperform, which was Beastly. Rocky 3-0'd Beastly to make it into top 8. And then my other pick was Superberry, who actually didn't end up going to the event, unfortunately. So
he did DQ, okay.
Yeah, double DQ. Can't say much about that.
Yeah.
My pick to overperform was Atomic, who beat Apollo Kage, so big ups to Atomic for that. And then really quickly, I do want to touch on some underperformances with Mars and Apollo Kage falling at 9th. For Mars, who cares? Like, his season literally means nothing, because if he went to stuff, he'd be ranked way higher, so who cares? Apollo Kage, it is tough, and his performances seem a lot worse when in contrast to Dio getting 9th at KAGARIBI, hurt top 8 in KAGARIBI, and his run at Delta. But he's still been doing really well. Like, he still has a 9th at SmashCon, even though back-to-back regional events, he doesn't do super well. At the end of the day, they're just regional events, and he's still someone that should definitely be thrown in that conversation for the best snake in the world.
The best snake, the fact that people have been counting him out is a little bit crazy to me. Dio and Hurt, they're different. I understand that, and they've been doing it at the highest level. But I feel like Apollo Kage, if he went to Japan, I feel like he'd have a good run as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he would too.
I think
Very studied player.
he, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
not only just that,
100%.
but he goes to like everything. I feel like, so I feel like he goes to way more events than a lot of other top players. So obviously he's not going to do great at every event.
It's just more
So I think
opportunities
that's
to do
something to
that.
factor in.
Yeah,
That's a good point actually.
we just saw him actually drop out of Rise and Grind and Big House, I believe, which were like either back-to-back weekends or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But he's taking a break for a while. So like you were saying, it's too much, dude. All the traveling,
I don't know
it's
how
on
to
your
do this.
mind, your body, yeah.
Yeah.
The pressure of trying to do good as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a lot. I got a lot of respect for these guys who are able to go out and do that every week.
Yeah.
Takes much same amount of like stamina, especially like do bad at one event and then bounce back right away for the next
Right
one.
back, yeah, exactly.
And speaking of, actually, he's been doing good at every event. Gluttony. Speaking of players doing bad, he has literally won every single event that he has entered since Battle of BC. Editing proof block. That's not true. I was just looking at PG stats. He got second place at Delfino Maza and fourth place at Smash Factor. So he's still farming.
That's insane.
Which was his worst tournament of the year, where he got 9th.
That is, and at that tournament he was on. I believe he lost to Kamehameha and Losers, who was on like his best run of all time. So like a Gluttony top 8. Yeah, I feel like a Gluttony top 8 would have been in the picture if he didn't have to run into that beast. But he really is. He's making the case for top 5 right now. If
he
he's
is
not
top 5.
already.
I think I would say
he
he
is
is
ridiculous.
Because fourth before was Sonics, but Sonics bombed out at SmashCon, so
Yeah.
I got Gluto at 4th, and then 5th is between Tweaked Sonics, then Light, and then Spaghetti. Just anyone.
After that, yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard after that.
Really tough. Zomba too, I guess.
Zomba as well, yeah.
I think for sure though, like I kind of was talking about this the other day a little bit. I think Acola has kind of proven himself as the clear number 1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of alluded to this last week, is Mia kind of moving his way up there? We see the, which we're gonna get to KAGARIBI,
save
right?
for KAGARIBI because we will talk about that a lot.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more, but it's an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, it's a tough battle right now. It's definitely a tough battle for that number 1 spot.
I think Gluto could be the best in the world, even though he's playing Wario. Like I've used this analogy for Zomba, for example. I think Zomba is good enough to be the best, but I don't think Rob is a character that you can be the best with, just because the matchups that he's going to be consistently facing in these top 8s, like Steve, not bad at all, actually pretty good draw. Game & Watch, unwinnable. Bayonetta, unwinnable. Aegis, unwinnable. There's so many very relevant matchups that are super tough for Rob. I think you kind of need a secondary for him, and I think you could make that argument for Wario, but also Bike is like the most insane thing of it. The Wario has gotten so much better because of the stuff that Gluttony is doing with the Bike, and it's really hard, and it's mainly just Gluttony being good, but he gets so much utilization off just that one move.
Yeah, and it's another point to make. Best player in the world doesn't necessarily mean number 1, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you can be the best player in the world, like skill wise, but your character kind of prevents you from being like.
You're not gonna
top,
be
you know what I mean?
Like Peanut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Peanut's somebody where it's like if he literally played literally any other character, he's probably like moving up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if he could transfer his skill from Little Mac into like Aegis or something like that.
Yeah, but the character's always gonna hold him
back. Put it in
like
Falco and still be really good.
True.
It don't even need to be like one of the broken ones.
Yeah.
I add like Gluttony, just his knowledge of the game and the way that he approaches getting better at the game is just insane. You never see him. His emotions are very stable. You know what I mean? You never see him get too upset. You never see him get too happy. It's all just it's in another day of work, and he pulls up and he means business every time. And I feel like Wario is a character that kind of dropped off a lot of people's radars, especially post nerf. I know that's been a few years at this point, but he went from like consensus, top 10 at least to he's ranging in that top 25 maybe for a lot of people. But between the aerial drift, the mix-ups you can do on the recovery, and just all the little things Gluttony does, dude. And he has so much mix with that character. The waft, of course.
Not dance
the
around
waft
it.
on top of everything. Yeah. He's almost made Wario fall into like like Luigi, dude. Like you just it's like Luigi, except instead of he can't hit you for most of the game, it's you can't hit
can't hit
Wario
him.
for most of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just runs away, and then he can just get that one hit and go crazy off of it. And the optimizations he's been making has been more how to win without the waft, and then closing out big games with the waft.
Or he's just like
I've seen him
it.
Exactly.
Like
We've been
use the
seeing a lot
super
more
armor.
of that
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better at that.
to get through it. I think he might have beat Light at Rewired, or maybe it was a different event, but like he went and tried to up smash him and he just wafted straight through it and killed him for it. It's just little things like that
I think that's how he
are
beat
making him
Beastly.
so much
Like
better.
Beastly tried to forward air him and he just wafted.
Wafted it, yeah.
He's done it to like so
it's
many
so
people.
good.
It's just like
Yeah, no.
really, really strong from him. And then it allows him to use another waft as well. If he gets more ballsy with it, which I think he probably will as time goes on.
And his half waft conversions have been getting so much better as well. You see him do them a lot more. Especially at like when they're at like 70-80%, he's got some rage. He'll go for like up air half waft at the ledge and let it rip, and it'll kill a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
Goes so early. Yeah.
nobody else is doing it like he does with him. Kameme started to use Wario a lot more. I've been seeing that pop up on his character picks, which is interesting to see. Yeah, he made Wario in Brawl and for part of Smash 4, so
he's an ultimate too.
he's one. In Ultimate, yeah, he did at the beginning of Ultimate,
like,
huh?
I
Yeah,
think
he's
Let's Make Big Moves
a
probably
Wario
was
player in my head.
Yeah, Wario player at heart. Maybe the Zachary Wario comes up.
Hey, I mean,
Speaking of Zachary, unless we have any final points about Rewired, it's time to move on to KAGARIBI.
I feel
no,
like
I think
covered
that's
just about
pretty much
everything.
summed it up.
Yeah.
All right. And then also,
that's
Imar,
much
how
it.
good do you think Samus is? I forgot.
Oh, Samus. That's right.
He ain't even do it yet. Oh my.
No, I haven't pulled up. I haven't pulled up. So according to the official Smash tier list, Samus is ranked. Hold up, I'm counting. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th.
I'm gonna say number 22.
I'm gonna say 24.
Okay.
25th, if my math is correct. 25th.
Oh.
Right above Samus is Wario, Pokemon Trainer, Lucina, Mario, and Yoshi.
She's better than all those
Samus.
characters. She's better than some of those characters.
Yeah. What about all those characters?
About all
But
those
some of
characters.
them, yeah. I'm
about-
kind of surprised to see Yoshi up there. I mean,
Yoshi,
Yoshi's
I don't
good,
even know how to
but
feel about. I can't even like that
Yeah.
character.
I can't either. It's so weird. I just don't know if Yoshidora is just cracked or
I can't
Yeah,
tell.
that character is actually good.
Because
dude.
like he shouldn't be able to do that stuff, but also no one else is.
He's just unfair with him, dude. I watch him play, and I'm like, I feel like a lot of it's just that he's in their head most
He
of the
goes
time.
for
He
like
knows
falling
exactly what
up
they're
air
doing.
as a kill confirm. Like
that up there is
He did it. We'll get
double
into
jump
it, man.
armor. That character's so
I wanna-
stupid.
yeah, we'll get into it right now. For our top 8 of KAGARIBI 11, you're gonna have Osimo and Hurt in 7th, Kananabe and Zachary in 5th, T in 4th, Yoshidora in 3rd, Acola in 2nd, and Mia finally takes it over Acola. And we'll get into the top 8 in just a second because it's real juicy. But an
Yeah.
entire other tournament happened. So what are you guys' favorite runs from KAGARIBI?
Okay. I'm gonna avoid talking about anybody in top 8 so that we can nerd out about them a little bit later.
I'll start off with Flo because
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
beat Proto Bonham, beat Jogabu, took Acola to game 5, and then I don't know who he lost to in loser side. But what a phenomenal run. And he's from Europe too. And you gotta remember, Europe's really bad at the game. So insane for him.
No, Flo, he came out. I think he was by himself as well.
It's just
decided to go out to Japan for a tournament. And we were
It's
talking about
so
this
random.
before. To be able to go out there and by yourself, bro, like I
Yeah.
know they're friendly out there or whatever, but it's intimidating to be anywhere by yourself.
Mhm.
So the fact he was
Especially
able
if
to
you
go
don't
out
speak
there,
the language. Well, maybe he does.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know Flo. I don't know his life, but um, he did so good, dude. I'm so impressed. Flo was always a player where I thought he was just like an EU only kind of player, like he'll do good out there. He's ranked like top 15 in Europe, but I wouldn't have expected him to make a run like this, especially with Roy in
Yeah.
2023.
Mhm.
Yeah, he should have been in the character of the week this time.
I know,
We
right?
were a week early. Yeah, I mean, this is like, is this the best Roy result of the year?
Definitely in recent months for sure. I don't
I
unless there's
was
something
gonna
earlier in the
say,
year.
And
yeah, I
Claro did
can't.
really good at Japan 24. He got like third
Mm.
there, but that doesn't count. Even though it's for
I
the
know
ranking season.
Cola got like 13th at Genesis, but I think he was using a lot of cloud at that tournament as well.
Well, I'm gonna say it's the best run of the year because I don't know.
Yeah,
So big
yeah, I
shouts
think
floats it
so.
up.
Yeah.
Especially from, I mean, this is the best run a European has ever had at a Japanese event,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
probably.
don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if there's many contenders for that, but it's still an impressive title to hold.
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
So the player I want to talk about is Proof's favorite guy, Hurt. So
Goat.
he made a dude. He
Wait,
made
let's talk
a
about Dio first because her got top 8.
okay. Oh yeah,
There's
you're right. You're
there's
right.
two snakes to talk about because you know it
So
was a good
so
tournament.
yeah. Dio went crazy. He unfortunately for me he eliminated my guy Aim 3-0. Pretty tough match right there, but lost out twice to Zachary. Besides that, he was farming everybody, dude. He went so crazy at this tournament. He gained my respect a lot from watching him. I had watched Dio play before, and obviously very good player, but at this event I was like, dude, he's so smart. Him against Zachary, I thought he had Zachary for a good portion of the set there.
In the second
Uh,
set.
yeah, in the second set,
That
yeah.
first one was
I didn't even get to catch the first one, so I'm
you
not
don't
sure
know
about
that.
that. You said it. You said it. But he's just so impressive. It's really him and Hurt play pretty different, so it was cool getting to watch them back to back. I caught KAGARIBI like in the top 12. I watched most of it from there, so being able to watch those guys play back to back is really awesome. And he made a good losers run. You always love to see one of those.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of losers runs, another player that I thought had an impressive losers run was Umeki. This was my pick last week for somebody that I thought was gonna, overperform a little bit. Overall, I'd say pretty decent. I think Umeki got what, not ninth, I think 17th. Yeah. But Umeki was actually sent into losers before top 192. So
Ooh.
he basically had to climb all throughout losers to get up to 17th, winning, I want to say over 8 sets, 8, 9 sets, something like that. Something crazy
Well,
like
I'll
that.
pull up his PG stats. He lost the claw, by the way, me Gunner player. It
Yeah.
wasn't even like to get out of pools. It was the match before that. Like he lost.
Yeah,
Dang,
yeah.
that's big
Yeah,
run
so
right
definitely
there.
a big run.
Won 8 sets in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 sets. I knew it was something crazy like that. So I definitely thought that was impressive. Another player I think that I had mentioned last week, it was either last week or before when we were talking about a Japanese tournament, was Kept. Managed to take a game off of Ken, so I thought that was cool. Playing Isabel as well. I know most people know Kept for the Villager. So that's actually when I was tuning into the stream, I saw he was playing Isabel instead. So that was kind of cool to watch that character because you don't really see that character so much. So yeah, definitely those two. And then also, I don't remember their tag, but I want to say, I could be wrong. I want to say there was another Olimar player that did well. It wasn't Shuton.
Uame.
It
No, you're
wasn't
talking
Noi. I want to say there
It
was
was
a third
Uame.
one.
Uame. He got 17th.
Uame, yeah, that's who it
Yeah.
Beat
was.
Aegis
Yeah, I
and
couldn't
never
remember their
won.
tag, but yeah. So 3 Olimars, top 32. Olimars on the rise.
Who would win? 10 of Europe's best or 10 Kagaribi Olimars?
That's hard, bro. That's
It's
hard.
actually hard, especially considering that it's
Agreed,
Olimar.
be having like 7 Olimars in the top 128
Yeah.
sometimes. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then my picks to overperform were Tamapi, who didn't do great, but that's all right, and Tsubaki, who ended up getting 9th place, even though he lost to both the players I said he would beat in Gact and Osimo. He still had a really nice run to 9th place.
Still a great run, 100%.
Another player really quickly I want to mention is Senra, who also had a pretty nice loser run, losing in pools, as did Umeki. But he beat Shaky, he beat Shirayuki, he beat Chicken, he beat Doramigi, and then he fell to Dio in Game 5.
Yeah.
With Puff.
Very
Like,
impressive.
it's crazy. To make a run with Puff is insane, but in losers?
Yep.
Very
This-
super volatile character right there. To be able to like have the nerves to be able to play such a glass cannon into like so many sets in a row is insane, dude.
Yeah.
I got respect for anybody who could play Puff at a high level.
Oh, for sure.
Real quick before I get into my overperformers or the people I had picked to overperform, Akakiksu, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his tag, the hero player.
Yeah.
He also went crazy at this event. Beat Jagaimo and Neo. Took a game off Yoshidora. Impressive stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of Hero, but it's always cool to see Hero do well because not a lot of people play the character.
Yeah.
And I feel like the character has a lot of potential, and he got like these are all 3-0s that he got like in his losers run. So
yeah, when Aka beats people, he beats people.
Mhm.
Such a fun player to watch. I mean, this is just a good weekend for Hero in general. Honestly, Beast Paul, good play.
Yeah, Beast
Paul,
Honor
yeah,
pops
exactly. For my two overperformers, I had Aim and Proto Banham. So Proto actually did worse than he was supposed to do, and then I think Aim placed his seeding, or maybe like right above it. Here I have right here, 21st seed, placed 17th. So I think he placed right above it or right on it, and then Proto Banham crashed out at 25th place as the 16th seed.
Still got a Kameme win though, because Kameme
I
got
was gonna-
33rd,
yeah.
which is crazy.
That is insane, but it just
Kameme
shows how
lost-
stacked this tournament is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so crazy. Kameme dropped out to a player that we're going to be talking about in a second. And then Proto, like we mentioned before, lost to Flow and then ended up losing to Yara, who lost to Aim. So Aim and him would have ended up having to play, which would have been really funny, actually.
Is there anyone else that we want to mention before the topic?
Last shout out to Guri, 25th place. Banjo stocks on the rise.
Banjo, go.
That's still, like, even though it's just like 25th, even though it's 25th, it still blows my mind that he can do
Solo Banjo.
Solo
Solo Banjo,
Yeah.
25th out of almost 1,500 entrants. I
It
mean,
is
we'll take it.
not okay.
We also had a Toon Link player get 25th as well.
The level one?
LV.
Level,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That guy good. He's
So-
the best tuning for sure now.
I mean, hey, all I got to do is see that on the result, and I mean, what
That's
other
all you
Toon Link
need.
results have we seen?
Well,
I'm just saying, like,
I
where
ain't
else are you seeing
getting
Toon Link?
25th.
Oh god.
We're talking top 8 now.
Mhm.
Crazy top 8. Mia and Acola are really like they just keep widening that gap as the two best players in the country.
Yeah.
They both got 3-0s over their opponents in winter semis, so that's going to be Mia over T, who I believe he's never beat T before. I believe he said that in his interview, that he's been preparing a lot for him. And then Acola 3-0s Kananabe, who made a crazy run to winter semifinals that we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah, I just want to add that Mia
But-
did not lose a game until top 8.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
I mean,
He 3-0'd nickname Masa, Rocky, and Ken. Which is...
yeah,
and T. He only lost to Akala.
Etsy, yeah.
So good.
Lost 3 games the whole tournament. That is so impressive. Mr. Game & Watch is I saw what
he said he's all right.
I thought Mr. Game & Watch was a menace back in 2019 when Meister was playing that character, dude. But this guy is like before Game & Watch seemed hard because he was just degenerate and annoying to play against. But now I'm like, this character actually has like super good combo routes, like great disadvantage, hard to edge guard, hard to hit. It's just all around just an amazing character. Can basically go all the way to the corner of the stage to edge guard you and make it back, and has a recovery that will probably set you back up into getting edge guarded if you're trying to come back to the stage with him as well.
Down smash is so stupid with that character. I'm sorry, but down smash, it's just the angles it sends you sometimes. The fact you can bury people, miss your up smash, move forward, get hit your up smash is like that character is crazy.
A lot of room for error.
Yeah, lots of room for error, but of course, Mia piloting this character to succeed. I cannot talk today. And you know, I think it's almost time we start having that conversation of Mia moving up to
Number 1.
number 2 in the world, possibly. I don't know about
Let's skip 2. He's going straight to number 1. He's the best
it's a possibility.
Player. He should have done this 3 tournaments ago. This was long in the waiting. Like
It was overdue.
And dude, game 4 versus Aqua in the winners finals, he was up an entire stock and a half. Like he was at 0 pretty much.
Yeah.
He lost, and I said, "Oh no." But then he won anyway, so let's go, Mia.
Yeah.
I think that, like, you look at, like, early Meister especially, like, modern-day Meister, it's a little bit different just because the game evolved and so did he. But it was like, Game & Watch is a really annoying character because here's 50 forward airs, and here's 6 up smashes. Deal with it. But Mia's Game & Watch, it's not like that. It's like, only 20 forward airs. But then there's also, like, an insane amount of other stuff being going in there. Meister, like, obviously now is like that as well, but Mia is just...
Oh, yeah.
on another level. Like, he is
Yeah.
ludicrous in this game. His game plans versus Acola were so good, and they have been for the past 2 tournaments, but finally was able to close it out. And I really do think the conversation of Mia being the best in the world is a super real one.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. For me personally, this is true for Game and Watch and Rob. For me personally, I just feel like those characters have so many options of what you can do. I'm so used to like being limited by my characters, where it's like, okay, like this is what I have to go for right now. But then it's like with these characters, it's like, okay, I have this going for me. What do I want to do next? I can nair, I can do this. I like there's just so many different options you can do and just get
There's
creative
so
with
many
it. I feel
correct
like.
choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it feels like you have every option at every point. Like at all points of the game, a Game and Watch forward air is going to be a good option. Game and Watch smash attack is going to be a Game and Watch up is a good option.
up behind the shield. Yep.
I up because it's strong.
It's never the incorrect choice. The last time I saw someone get punished for an Game & Watch up B was Smash Con Fall Fest when Light up aired Meister. If that was even that tournament. That's the last time it happened, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it is such a tough move to punish, and if you like mess up and you get hit by it, you're in disadvantage against the best advantage character in the game. Like, he is the best advantage character in the game. I don't care
Yeah.
that Aegis is good. Up air is
It's
stupid.
insane. And I was going to bring that up. I think that we had mentioned it last podcast. The thing about Mia that really separates him from Meister, I think, is like it feels like Mia always picks the right option. He tracks his opponents amazingly. He's always where you're going to be. He always knows what you're going to want. He always just picks the best option in the best spot. And I mean, if you do that, you win, right? And I feel like Proof said, the conversation has to be there for him being the best player. If he can continue to consistently do this, I think if he comes to Rising Grind, he could prove it against NA and beat Gluto as well. Like, we really gonna have to start talking about it. That at least it's like a 1A 1B situation between them.
Yeah, because we still honestly haven't seen Mia a bunch versus the best of America. Because the only events he's been to is Apex, where he beat Jackal. He went to Battle of BC as well. But if I recall correctly, he didn't fight too many good
I think he
players.
got
Okay,
fifth
never
there
mind. He
too,
beat
right?
Zomba, Pocket, and Cola. So he beat actually a handful of good players at Battle of BC.
Yeah.
He
But-
beat some good ones.
And then,
yeah.
SmashCon. Okay, do you know what? Scratch that point actually entirely, because I just forgot that SmashCon happened. He's already owned NA. He gonna do it again.
He's on. Yeah, he owns NA a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember he was at Scuffed World Tour last year as well.
I think he beat Pocket there as well, and then lost.
He beat Pocket there as well.
Spargo and someone else.
And I will say, Pocket has always impressed me against Mia for how good Mia is against Mr. Game & Watch. Or against Steve, rather, with Mr. Game & Watch. He always matches up pretty well. I think it's usually Game 5 when they play. And Pocket was up on him at whichever
won a
Battle of BC. Yeah.
He got washed at Scuff. Battle of BC set was super competitive, though, and then Pocket just barely couldn't close it out.
Who else did Mia lose to? Oh, he lost to Spargo and lost to Glutony at Scuff.
He lost, which is crazy that he lost to Glutony. I don't think that's going to happen again. Okay,
I
will say,
I
I think Mia's biggest flaw as a player, easily, is he is so bad at the matchups that he should be winning. Like, all these +2s, maybe not +2s, but at least +1s like Snake, Wario. Can't think of any other ones off the top of my
That's true, because
head.
he did lose to Snake last week, right?
Yeah, I think
he lost to Hurt, yeah.
He's putting a lot of time into, like, Acola. He's clearly put a lot of work into that match. He knows the ins and outs of it. And I think he's letting, like, the matchups that he should be winning a lot of the time, like, little bit fall to the wayside. Doesn't need to focus on those as much. He can just kind of top player through most of those matchups and, like, better character through most of those matchups. But now, when you have someone of Hertz Calvin, for example, Hertz just a great example, he was not good at the Snake matchup. Just straight up. Very clearly not good at the Snake matchup. Because he probably hasn't put too much time into it. Because why would you? Game & Watch destroys Snake. So I think if he wants to be #1 in the world, which that's what he should be aiming for, he needs to do a little bit of touch-up on the matchups that he should be steamrolling, and then he'll start steamrolling them.
I think that's where we saw Meister really shine through, is that if you weren't there at that top tier, Meister was not losing to nobody. Like, he was just literally steamrolling through people. I think finding Mia has... his playstyle is so good, like all the great things I've said before about him, but just really coming and finding out how to abuse your characters. Like, one good thing in a matchup, like against Snake, you're just so hard to hit. You have Bucket to kind of make a lot of his stuff obsolete, and get easy kills on him. Yeah, and you just sit back, stop approaching.
Just
like, what's Snake really gonna do?
I know dash tech's good, but backers are real big.
Man, what a world we'll be in if Game & Watch is the number one character.
I know, right?
Is it better than Steve?
That's gonna be hilarious. I don't think like anyone would predict that, especially considering when Ult came out, a lot of people thought Game & Watch was pretty bad.
He's been untouched, right? Game
I don't
Watch?
think he's really been changed. I could
Not,
be wrong,
not
but
that I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
I can't think of Game & Watch getting buffed.
We just took
Just
a
one of
look.
those characters where initially, I mean, when you look back at old tier, maybe we should do that. That would be kind of fun one time. We just look back at old tier lists and kind of see how it's
I'm
changed.
down.
There's definitely a
Yeah,
lot of
cool.
characters that people thought were bad initially that are now like up there. So,
Especially like
yeah.
when you compare his game plan to how it was in Smash 4, in this game it feels a lot more like the opponent is going to come to me and get hit by what I'm throwing out versus you're actively trying to approach, and that game his game plan really came down to I'm going to try and poke at you and then I'm going to fish for down throw up air. And try to kill you.
because back in Smash 4 his forward air was remember it was like the card or
Credit
whatever.
card,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now he has the
He did
bombs. I
get
feel
kind of
like
reworked, honestly, because his up air was different
Yeah.
too,
He
right?
did, yeah.
Yeah, he got reworked.
It really changed a lot. Not even just with the animations, they changed a lot of how his moves work. Because his down smash before it didn't spike down. I think it just sent away. Maybe I could be wrong. I think it was like close
you're
hitbox
right.
sent up, and then the far one it blew him out horizontally.
Yeah.
Hopefully next Smash game they rework him again. Second place acola as well. Not a ton to talk about here. He's the best player in the world. Technically, he did bad because he didn't get first, but also the real world, he gets second place at a P tier. It's an amazing run from him, but there's not too much to talk about because he just didn't beat me at this time.
Yeah.
Still has an A tier record versus him.
Just the most consistent player, really, when you think about it. Like he really doesn't lose to anybody besides the same couple of people. He doesn't just lose to randoms.
This is probably Akala's worst month of the entire year. He hasn't been doing super well this month, and just in case anyone's curious about his results, he has a first place at Sumabato SP Ultimate, a first place at Delta 5, and a second place at KAGARIBI 11. So this is arguably his worst month of the year, because he dropped a set to Hurt at one of those events. Also he lost a local twice to Tama P. So yes, absolutely Akala's worst month of the year. Totally washed player. Will he be able to bounce back from this abhorrent placement?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's
not
over.
Even top 10 anymore.
Gotta hang up the sticks.
It's over. Imagine he doesn't top 8 his next 3 events. I don't want that. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. But let's talk about some other people in this top 8. I guess we'll work our way down because we started with the top 2.
So,
Yoshidora in third. That guy is kind of good.
We had kind of talked about it before. Real quick, want to mention I saw something about it on Twitter, how the top 3 players at this tournament are the top 3 ranked players on Smashmate as well online. So that's just something to think about. These guys are really out here grinding all the time, online, offline. It don't matter. Yoshidora, he really I think he made a tier list before where he had Yoshi as the number 2 character in the game, and while I think he is,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what
that tier list was like. How they thought the public would perceive the characters versus how they would place them. It was it was really weird because I remember I made a video on that tier list, and then people were like, "Okay, this is not what it was about." Because I was like, "This tier list is whack as hell." But I don't think it was like a direct 1-to-1 tier list, but very highly of Yoshi though. That the general point is
correct. Yeah, thinks very highly of Yoshi, and when you watch him play, you can't help but agree with him. You know that I play against Yoshi, and I'm like, oh, these guys none of these combos are true. Your up air stuff, it works. Dude, I watch him play, and I'm like, these are good players who actually sit there and practice. How am I gonna get out of this combo? What are my options right here? And he just be farming. He hits him with stuff I never thought was possible with Yoshi. His advantage state is insane. He literally just feels like he knows where they're gonna roll a lot of the time. He's just amazing player. Elite Smash legend.
American Sniper. Yeah, the the 680 streak or something stupid.
I think it was 740 or something like it.
That's just insane.
I think someone beat it with 740. I think.
That's crazy.
Completely wrong though. But the fact that either of them exist is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yoshi's an interesting character. We don't really see. I mean, really, this is the only top level Yoshi, right? I mean, there's other.
Mei's good, but you don't go to nothing.
Oh, Mei, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about Mei.
Ron.
There's Ron. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yoshidora. Yoshi dittoed somebody in round 1 of top
I guess Obi.
192, and it went game 5. So
Oh, that set was like
that's
really close. I think I think Fui is a good Yoshi player. If he plays Yoshi, I could just be wrong about that, but
I
I'm
know
pretty sure
there's
he does.
Pharaoh,
yeah, there's Pharaoh. He's
Raptor,
probably the best.
Burst.
Danby, yeah.
Yeah, he's Yoshi. I thought he was Wolf.
I
Juarez.
think.
Yeah,
Oh, never
Obi was
mind.
the guy that he did it for Game 5. Yeah, it's like there's good Yoshi players. Don't get us wrong,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there is a good Yoshi player. Like
Yeah,
he
basically.
is.
Yoshidora just makes him. He looks like a different character.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yoshi always looks so floaty and so like he can't get up and down quick. Not a fast character, and it just
Yeah,
feels
he's so
like
quick.
yeah, he's so quick with him. It's infinitely impressive. Speaking of impressive, or maybe not, depending on how you feel about these characters, we got T, who came in 4th place with his Pac-Man Kazuya tandem. It's been working out for him. I think before this event, I had said I didn't think he was going to do very well. Thought he was going to make like top 16, but ended up running it all the way to 4th. How you guys feeling about T in late 2023?
I think it's good to see.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say I think it's good to see another player that travels a lot to the US. We haven't really been seeing a whole lot of like really good results from T lately. So this is definitely, I mean, top 4 at this event is crazy. And like you said, I think that just the combination of characters, because they're just so different from each other. So to have to prepare for both of those characters, I think that's just a really good co-main to have right there is Pac-Man and Kazuya.
Yeah, to be honest, I think T was the player I was probably the most impressed by this tournament. Maybe one of the 5th place finishers that we'll get to in a second, a little bit more. But I had very low hopes for T coming into this event. He hadn't been doing super well. Past 3 majors, he didn't get higher than 13th place. And the worst was 17th place, so it actually wasn't that dramatic. But he just wasn't doing super well. And
Yeah.
Kazuya is a character that I am always going to be down on. I think Kazuya is always going to get worse. Pac-Man is ridiculously broken. People have forgotten, but I didn't have
Yep.
super high expectations for T, and he blew them out of the water. I mean, he beat Leah, he beat Akio, he beat Akasa, Yoshidora, who he had a 2-4 record with before this tournament, Osimo, and Zach Ray, and he just looked really, really impressive. Like that you were saying, Imar, that combination of Pac-Man Kazuya is a winning combination for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Even just Pac-Man alone. I mean,
Yeah, just Pac-Man.
that's just a character that and then there's just Kazuya. Like it's like
He
you might
has,
know how
like-
to fight Kazuya, but you still probably gonna lose him.
Yeah.
Yes, Pac-Man, who he's by far the best with the character, and
Oh, yeah.
like there's far and few in between high level reps, and then he has like the biggest matchup check character in the game. That's like if you don't know how to perfectly play around Kazuya, especially his level, like you're just gonna get 0 to death 3 times.
Yeah, because like T's
and we
Kazuya's
saw that
bad,
with
but he's T, so he is
But
just
he-
good at Kazuya.
exactly like we saw him destroy the Zach Ray Joker game 1.
Yeah.
Dude, that set. Okay, now that
Game
the
is
set's
so
over, it's definitely funny looking back on it. I was definitely salty in the moment. Like, damn, Zach Ray's really losing to this freaking Kazuya right now,
That
dude.
set
I
was
want to see
so good. I guess let's transition to talk about our 5th place finishers.
yeah,
with that.
5th place finishers.
You have
So
Zachary and Yoshidora, or not Zachary and Yoshidora, Zachary and Kananabe. And which one do y'all want to start with?
we'll start with Zach Ray just because I feel like Kananabe is the bigger story here. He's just so impressive, dude. The fact that he doesn't really practice too much anymore, how he did at least. Smash isn't really his main priority. Kind of a MK Leo situation in some ways where, he's just focusing on other things. He's been the best in his area for so long, but 3-0 on Dio, it's 3-0 on Etsuji. I don't know how to say his tag now.
Etsuji's
His
right.
tag used to be Edge. He beat
Hurt, by the
Dio
way.
again, beat Hurt. And I was watching Pit versus Snake. Dude, that matchup does not look good for Pit at all.
The Dark Pit arrows are insane. I was like, what is this very, very specific niche tech? Like, he clearly is making an active choice, because Pit is, like, not objectively better than Dark Pit, but Pit is definitely the better of the two
Yeah.
in most matchups,
Yeah.
but the arrows versus Snake were really good, and we got to see it 3 times, because he played Dio twice and Hurt, and he won all of those sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I feel like I saw him, like, it went from him beating himself to him actively just outplaying the Snake player every single time.
Yeah.
And you saw the Snake just start to crumble. Like, it went from they're confident, they're countering all of his approaches to, like, they're blowing themselves up with grenade. all of a sudden these arrows, these 8-9% every time, is starting to add up. They're at kill percent all of a sudden, and Zachary didn't care. He would get them up to 200% if he had to get the kill, and that's just the type of stuff that you see from him. He's got that experience. You don't get scared in those situations.
I will say, I don't think that Zachary beats her or Dio with Pit again. But I think he could beat them with any other character because he's very good versus Snake, like incredibly good versus Snake.
Yeah.
But Pit is definitely not like the choice versus like Snake. It's not like Senra beats Acola. Is Steve the countered by Jigglypuff? No, it's just You clearly like
cracked
they were getting so much utilization off the arrows. It was very clear that Dio and Hurt didn't know how to deal with them. And to be fair, I don't know how to deal with them either. But I'm sure that when the second set comes around, those guys, they're going to be much more versed, especially Hurt, because he just had an extremely competitive set the first time they played. But yeah, Zachary's Pit was looking really good, and we finally got to see him play some good characters, and he lost with the good characters. But it's good to see.
It was looking nice. He picked the Joker, and I was like, I remember on the pod, I was like, please, Zachary.
We just talked about
pick
that.
Rob or Joker, and the freaking Joker got 3 stocked, and I was like, no, it's over for my goat, bro.
He didn't go Rob versus Acola, which was like the one matchup that I really wanted him to switch for.
Our other 5th place finisher, Kananabe. My most impressive run of the tournament.
I think
at least for me, beats Kameme, Aim, Shuton all in a row. Like that's crazy. Beat 2 of the top 5 players in Japan.
All that for 5th is crazy. You would think that's, you know.
I will say he actually did get a very fortunate upset in the winners bracket. So we had I'm pulling up Muyo, this King DDD player, beat Takara in pools, and if you can against Fox is not a very fun matchup for Fox, especially with the way that Kananabe plays. He's very aggressive with how he goes about his stuff, and Takara is a little bit more of a passive player, and I feel like passive Ken against aggressive Fox just absolutely puts in so much work. So the fact that he got the matchup of King DDD versus Ken, he might have beaten Takara still, but that's just a fortunate matchup for him. And I mean, my GOAT, dude, he beat Kameme, Aim, and Shuton. Shuton farms light too. He didn't go Olimar for whatever reason. I guess it's not a great matchup for
overall.
For Olimar,
he usually beats Kananabe. I'll check their record right now. So I'm sure
they've never played before.
They never played.
I feel like
I knocked my headphones out, guys. Hold up.
Oh, you're right.
I feel like Olimar does kind of okay against Fox. I think overall it's kind of a little more losing. I mean, the thing about it is like, I think Olimar has a lot of tools to deal with Fox, but the problem is like when you're in like disadvantage, like when you don't have Pikmin, like Fox can just rush you down like all day, like because he's just so much faster than you. So basically, if you can like kind of just avoid getting hit and kind of camp Fox out, I feel like it goes pretty well. But the second that Fox like starts going on you and you don't have Pikmin, like you're kind of just screwed.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had looked at their record earlier, and I believe Shuton's only lost. They have it's like 5-2 against Light or something like that. But they haven't played in a long time. The last time they played was at Crown the 3rd, and before that it was all the way back in Frostbite, 2020.
I do think Aegis is a better pick than Olimar, but also Kananabe was just edge guarding Shuton with Fox.
It was really insane.
Fox's edge guarding unironically is very good because he's so quick and he falls so fast that you can just land on your opponent like a rock and nair with just lingering or shine. It's just really risky. Drag down forward air as well.
I was gonna say between Light and Kananabe, we've been seeing a lot of the drag down forward air this weekend, and it puts in a ton of work, dude. Against a character like Cloud or Aegis with such weak recoveries, like it really farms, and the fact that it's forward and he could pull them away from the stage as well with it, and they're having to recover both vertically and horizontally extra. Like it's just so good.
I think it's the future of Fox's game plan. Like Wario, he gets better off the bike tech. Fox gets better off the forward airs, and I think Kananabe and Light have a really similar play styles. And shocker, they're both doing well. Like Kananabe is the Fox that's probably the closest to Light, and he's also the second best Fox we've ever seen in this game, which makes sense. I guess Becerra Man pre-COVID, but you get my point. It's like you need to be aggressive with Fox. He is a rush down character. There are a lot of characters like Sonic, for example. You can play at both tempos. You can't play Fox at both tempos. You need to be on your opponent, and luckily he's real good at that.
Yeah, Kananade, he's not at Light's level yet with the reads and the reactions.
Yeah, Light's
but
way more
he's
confident.
he's way more confident with it. He's got just more experience with it. But Kananabe's advantage state, he don't really mess up. He's got the combos really down on lock. The ways that he covers an advantage is great, and he has just like the little things that you like to see with Fox. He has just like the call outs on the ledge. Like I was saying before with the reads, he's not on him as much as Light is, but the fact that he's going for them shows he has the confidence to bust them out when he does start to get them right.
Yeah, exactly. He's a player that I think will continue rising the rankings that we have. Finally, unless do you have anything else to add about him, Myanmar?
Yeah.
Nah, we pretty much got it all. But like you said, finally we got the rest of top 8 here. We got Hurt and Asimo.
Ashimo and Hurt, yeah.
Yeah.
Two of top 10 players in Japan, kind of sitting right outside of that top 5, looking to break in. At any event, you can expect either one of them to do really good. And 7th is nothing bad. Both of them took their opponents to game 5. I don't really have a whole lot to say about either one of them. I didn't keep up with either of their runs too much at this event, but just impressive to keep up the consistency.
Yeah, Asimo beat Akanoi Gact and then lost to T, and then to get into top 8, he beat Tsubaki, which was actually a match that they never won before, even though they only played once. So good run for him.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, overall impressive. Like you said, the big thing for me is consistency too, because I know ahead of this tournament, I was kind of looking at the bracket and saw where everyone was seated, and I definitely thought some of the players that placed lower than them, I thought they were going to place higher than them. Especially you see Ken got 9th, Shuton getting 9th, not even top 8, Yara getting 13th. So there's definitely a lot of players that they ended up passing to get top 8. So overall, really good runs.
Yeah, then Hurt 2 weekends in a row where he pulls off a crazy losers run.
Yeah.
Lost to HG really early on in a banger set, my add. And then just HG who beat both Hurt and Doremi at this tournament. But then he was able to beat Ball, the K-Row player, I believe. Kudo, who actually had a pretty decent run here. Ryuo, level 1, Flo, Yara, and Shutone to get into the top 8. And he's the best Snake player in the world at this point. I feel like it's back-to-back tournaments. Yeah. He's proven that Lightning does, in fact, strike twice, and probably 3 or 4 times at that. He's so good. I'm a Snake player, so he's just so good.
Yeah, I want to see him come to the States really bad now and see how he can do, because
priority, let's go.
He's gonna be there.
He's going to port. He got in for. I think he qualified at Delta.
That's freaking dope. I saw that Kananabe was gonna be there as well.
Oh my god, good event.
So it's gonna be so awesome. But do you guys have any final thoughts on KAGARIBI, or is that kind of wrap it up?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I think overall, really solid event. I know I personally really like watching a lot of these big Japanese tournaments, just because I'm somebody that I stay up late a lot, so it's always nice to just kind of have it on while I'm doing stuff and kind of fall asleep watching tournaments. So definitely always really good gameplay. I like the VG boot camp streams that they do. They have all the commentary, that way you can follow along and everything. So that's really cool. And yeah, it's just, it's cool to see the character diversity at the top here. A lot of different characters that made it in, a lot of different players that made it in. So, but at the end of the day, the 2 most consistent players in Japan, finishing right at the top. So that's kind of the big takeaway for me.
Oh, shouts to Lax. He got 33rd. Nothing super notable. I just like him. Good play. And then, before we move on to Rewired, which is spoilers, our next event, I really quickly do want to talk about Smashmates, because after Mia won the event, they asked him, listen, how did you do it? How did you pull this off? And he basically just said, Smashmates, I grind online. And JAZARA, I'll let you talk about it, because you probably know better than I do.
Okay, yeah, so basically, for anybody who doesn't know what Smashmate is, it's an online matchmaking website. Essentially, you go on there, there's public chat rooms where you could talk to people, or you can go and just queue up for matchmaking. It's an ELO-based system, so essentially you start out, let's say, 1,000 points. You beat somebody who's also at 1,000, you'll gain 30 points, they lose 30. Goes up like that. The higher you go, the less points you get. Acola, Mia, and Yoshidora, the top 3 at this event, how I kind of mentioned before, they're all legendary Smashmate players. I believe Acola has the highest like score of all time on there. He's broken the record a bunch of times. They got like over 10,000 month, like it's crazy over there. They got like 10,000 monthly players on there. And we got nothing like that in North America. We got Anthers Ladder, which is a dead website. It's been dead since the end of Smash 4. It came back for a little bit in Ultimate, but it was just never popping how it was in Smash 4. And I feel like the thing that's great about Smashmate is the simplicity of it. I've actually went on there and checked out the website before while researching a video, and it's just literally like bare bones. You go on there, it's got a list of players, it's got a spot for you to do matchmaking and a spot for you to talk to people. Like, it doesn't got a whole lot of fancy stuff, but it gets the job done. It's a very efficient. I will say the one thing about it that lets it work in Japan but probably won't in America is, one, they have better internet there. I think that they're all they're all on fiber internet out there or something like that, so they have much better connection. Also, Japan is small compared to the United States. Japan's like the size of some of the states are. So like the fact that there's 50 of them and they're all spread apart from each other, like over 4,000 miles horizontally, they would definitely need to have regional regional ladders of some sort of kind, like East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, or like North, South, East, West, something along those lines to keep it fair for people, because I know that's already a problem in Coinbox, which is the biggest online series, and a lot of people don't enter because, like, when you're living in New York and you got to play somebody from Baja California, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are multiple days drive away from each other, and the internet connection's just not good.
I would love to see it. That'd be cool. I mean, I was a big fan of Anthony's Ladder back in the day. I thought it was a cool system, so I definitely think that's something. But yeah, definitely that's kind of the big concern, of course, is, I mean, we see all the time with Coinbox, right? People complaining, whatever it be, lag, disconnect, latency, there's just so many things. But the reality is, we got to find a solution, especially if we're getting nothing new soon, if we want this game to continue to grow. Definitely online is the way to go. And it's really such a shame that the game itself, what we're given, in this day and age, is so bad as far as online goes. Major franchise, major company, can't provide good internet, but hey, we'll save that talk for another day.
Yeah, the online, we could go on and on and on, but we gotta just kind of bite the bullet. It sucks. I guess there's like the latency mod, which can only help, but I don't know if there's a way to incorporate that so everyone has to have it to play online.
Yeah.
And then I think, JAZARA's cam froze. But I think Hungrybox was planning on doing a online, something similar to Smashmates, and I think he said initially he was going to maybe do prize pools for that, but since then he has revisioned that because people said, hey, that's a really bad idea. So I'll leave a link down below to the Hungrybox thread for anyone that is curious. But basically the TLDR is NA Smashmates. Maybe the player that is the highest ranked on Smashmates get flown into an event. At least that's what I think is the best idea if you want to invest into the scene using Smashmates, which is like, obviously you can't complain about money being in there. I think flying out the highest ranked player would be really good. And then there was also the discussion of, should Steve be banned? I think Steve being banned is normally a weird discussion, but I think for Smashmates, absolutely he should not be banned.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. And especially with, like you said, with flying out, I think that prevents a lot of issues that could occur, right? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody boosting your account, basically. You know what I mean?
Okay. Like smurfing.
That kind of avoids anything like that, because obviously, like, to fly somebody out, you gotta show your face there, right? And it kind of just keeps the incentives all Smash based, right? So, you grind the game, you do well.
Like, the goal of the ladder should be to get better, not to make money.
Exactly.
And money in the scene is great, but I would just rather that money be used somewhere else, because I think this should just be for practice. But at least that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And then, do you have anything?
I agree.
Oh, JAZARA. There he is.
Back at it, bro. Back at it. So yeah, kind of my opinion on it is, I kind of heard you guys just talking about right now. I think that the incentive should be to give back to the community, but in the way of bringing them out to tournaments, hosting specific events on the ladder that's like anybody above X elo can enter this tournament. We have like low elo tournaments, medium, high elo, and like get some sort of tiering system and pricing system worked out with it. Before the podcast, we had mentioned it'd be an awesome idea if, say, if we had one unified ladder and say Genesis partnered with it, and it's like whoever gets number one on the ladder this season will get a flight and a hotel and an entry to Genesis or something like that.
Yeah.
Give people incentive to go on the ladder, and it gives advertises the tournament as well. A lot of people, as much as we're connected with the community, a lot of people don't really know what's going on. They don't really know that big events are happening, which is crazy for me to think about. But
I mean, if you're not on,
Well,
I'll carry on what I think he was going to say. If you're not on Twitter, there's literally zero ways to know about events.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's like a big Smash YouTube channel. Like most of the Smash YouTube channels are either dead or small. So people just don't know. Like the only big one is VGBC. And it's not like there's a bunch of advertisements on VGBC to know. Like there's just not a ton of avenues for people to know when it's going to happen.
No, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a department that needs some work. I feel like, and that goes back to what I've said before. I just think there's a lot of opportunity for the game, even though it's an older game now. There's always ways to kind of promote these events. I feel like, one big example, of course, when we had like the Ludwig's Invitational,
Yeah.
that's an example of somebody with a big platform able to kind of showcase the game, so I definitely think there are other ways that we can go about promoting these events to kind of the general public, because there are fun events, and a lot of these tournaments are having multiple things, right? So like I know, for example, what's it called? Low tier cities coming up. They're offering brackets for all kinds of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Street Fighter, Melee.
Yeah.
Splatoon, I think is
Or like Let's Make Moves. Like I know they sometimes have that like volleyball tournaments and things like there's just so many different things you can do to like be like, okay, this tournament is different because it's at a water park, and so you can do the tournament, you got the water park, you got so there's so many different ways to do it, but yeah, for sure.
There needs to be like hey, Tios, if you're listening to this, y'all need to like come together and just make like a big YouTube channel that's just the trailers and what's
or sponsor a podcast.
Yeah,
knows,
sponsor of
saying,
the fourth best podcast. Yeah.
Number 4. I really think the future of Smash events is going to be finding a way to connect to people who aren't 100% just competitive. A lot of people think it's not worth it to spend all that money to go to an event to just play in the main bracket and get out. I think having side events, pop-up brackets, even like we saw at Rewired, they had a high school only bracket. You could have like a college student bracket, like
college crew battles and things like that. Yeah,
exactly, things like that. Like you have to show your student ID card or like a sign up with a school email or something along those lines. I feel like things like that is where the community is going to grow.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I really like about Rise and Grind, which we'll get to. But that's one thing I really like that they offer, because so a big complaint I had, right, when I went to like Low Tide City, I thought it was so dumb that they had like the main bracket and then a side event was the Steve Band bracket. It was just singles, but Steve wasn't allowed. That's so dumb to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just, not only is it confusing, like, because it's kind of like, okay, which one's the main bracket? Like, there's really no point to it, in my opinion, because Steve is popular, but not like you're not running to Steve every other game, But what I like about Rise and Grind, for example, they're having like a low tier bracket, right? So only low tiers allowed. It's like a list of 10 different characters. These are like cool ideas, I think, that like, let's say Peanut enters that bracket, he's probably gonna win that. You know what I mean? Like it gives like a whole new life to the game. I think stuff like that is really cool.
The low tier bracket, the top seed right now is Wrath. I don't know who he gonna play, but
yeah,
I'll have to see. Sorry,
I saw Banjo was legal in that bracket. I mean, he's a low tier now.
Oh, he better be. Oh, now bottom tier. That character's trash.
I'm saying. So yeah, just stuff like that. Like you said, just more side events, more incentives to kind of go out and enjoy the event as a whole, even if you do bad in the bracket.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. Just make the event better, basically, for not the guys that are getting top 16.
Exactly.
And then also, I won't say too much because I don't know the logistics of running an event. I'm sure running multiple brackets at the same time is incredibly difficult. But like, ideally, these are things that could be done.
This is all in theory.
Yeah, we're theory crafting the best Smash event.
And don't kick everybody out of the venue that isn't a top 48 into a cold night. I think that's a good rule to live by as a TO.
I didn't say anything about it because the prize pot was so big, but Rewired Fest could have been run better. We'll leave it.
It seemed like everybody who made top 8 really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yo, I got paid. Great event. Thanks for I'll go again for sure.
For real, for real though. Speaking of events, we're kind of just touching on it. Rise and Grind is going to be our biggest event of this upcoming weekend. I know we've been talking about these other events, but KAGARIBI was big. Could have gotten a whole episode of its own for us to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, Rise and Grind though, it's looking like it's going to be a really stacked event. Mia all of a sudden signed up for it, which is crazy.
Last day.
It's
like
the last day for real.
Yeah.
We got
just to fly out to Texas. That's just so random.
We got to fly out to Texas, man, for real. We got Mia, Glutony, MK Leo, Riddles, Tweak, The Buzz, Jackal, Karam, and Mudace. Like, this event's gonna be stacked, man. I'm really excited to see how it's gonna go. Who do you guys have taking it?
Mia. I mean, actually, I'm not gonna pick Mia. That's lame. Hold on, I gotta think about it now. I gotta look at the bracket.
I'm going with The Buzz for this one. I've got faith in The Buzz.
Ooh,
I think he's historically done pretty well in Texas. I remember in LTC, I forgot what LTC it was, but I know he did pretty well, and then he ended up, I think he just choked at the end. I think that's the one.
It's the one he beat Leo for the first time. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
2021.
I don't know. I have a good feeling about The Buzz this time.
You got a pick, JAZARA?
To take it all. Okay, so I was gonna say my guy Glutony. Y'all know I'm a big Cluedo fan.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rough tournament for him though. He has kind of like the two, at least at the top level. I was gonna say Riddles and then Mia as well is a tough matchup for Wario. Even though Glutony did beat him the one time they played like a year ago, I don't think he's ever beaten Meister before. So, just not a great matchup for him to go in right there. And then you got other just good players all around that could beat him. I want to say I'm feeling like this is the return of MK Leo, man.
That was my pick.
I almost wanted to say it, but
Mickey Leo, he's gonna
tired. Mickey Leo, man, he's tired of THC Leo, man. He in Texas, he not in California. He's gonna do good this time around, okay? California events, I can't trust him at those no more unless it's called Genesis. But in Texas, I feel like he's been doing good recently, just a little bit north of Mexico right there, not too much of a trip for him. I feel like he's going to be comfortable. He's going to be confident. There's nobody here that really... There's a couple bad matchups.
Tweak is the main issue for him.
Tweak and
Tweak's on the other side. Yeah, but they're both on the other side of the bracket.
Oh, okay. And yeah, he's got a couple people here. Yeah. I would love to see him play against Mia. That's really the matchup I want to see.
They're supposed to play in top 8 for the first round. And if it's not Mia, it's Karama. Leo's path is actually really good. I think his hardest opponent is probably Mudace, to be honest, because he plays Mudace for quarters. But Mudace has to be a Sonic and Insonito and Luis, which is tough. And then Leo has to be Geist, which is Bayo, which is always scary. But I would expect him to win that. And Tarek, I would also expect him to win that, considering that his Greninja is pretty good. I would still favor him versus Mudace, but it's always scary. And then he should beat Mia. I'd be very shocked if he didn't beat Mia, actually. He's got
MK Leo,
Corin, Byleth, Ike.
And he's got all the experience against Game & Watch as well.
Exactly.
And I know he thinks highly of Meister and doesn't think highly of Mia, at least to the level of Meister.
Yeah, he thinks Meister's better.
Yeah, exactly.
So put your money where your mouth is. Let's see.
Yeah. He also thought Big Boss was better though, so we'll see if Leo's gang's able to keep up with it.
And then if Leo's your pick to win, I'll go with Tweak. Editing proof block again. I'm not going to go with Tweak because he's not there, and instead I'm going to go with Riddles because I think he has a very realistic path into the top 8. And once in the top 8, he has kind of a coin flip matchup versus the Buzz. And as we kind of already mentioned, MK Leo is a pretty decent draw for him. So as long as he doesn't get Mia, I think he can win the tournament. Yeah,
Glutony's been cooking.
He's been a monster.
And there's no Zomba at this event either, huh?
No Zomba, yeah. I think that's a little bit weird to see. No Zomba, no Light.
No Light.
But
no Light.
You have Tweak and Riddles to replace them.
I saw something on Twitter that Light was saying he wanted to sign up, and Apollo Kage was like, "Take my spot." So maybe we'll see that happen. Maybe we'll see Light pop up all of
that'd
a
be so
sudden.
sick.
No,
Interesting.
no more AK.
I doubt it
Because
the
he is.
bracket's already out, but that'd be so sick.
Oh, okay. If the bracket's already out, then yeah.
Yeah, bracket's already out right now.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I think it's a little too close. That would have been cool to see though. Overall, event is looking really awesome. Got a lot of good representation from all around. Fortunately, Shiny Mark and Apollo Kage aren't going to be able to make it. Those were two of the top seeds. They just got different things coming up. But besides them, yeah, like I said, MK Leo, he's coming back. He's getting this dub.
Yeah, who are your guys' picks to overperform? Because I got mine.
I've got an underdog pick. I don't know if they're going to overperform well, but you probably don't know who this is, but I know this player is like really good. Another Texas talent. This is to make winners top 64. We've got Send playing against Ray. Ray is like a really good Zelda player. I would say, honestly, one of the best Zeldas in the world. I don't know if that's a crazy statement. I don't really know of anybody else that plays Zelda, but I just know his Zelda is cracked. He does really well at Texas events that he goes to, and yeah, right now he's projected to play against Sen to make top 64. I could see the upset happening there, and if that happens,
he goes into
then yeah, into Jazo, and I don't know what would happen there, but yeah, I could see him pulling off that upset.
That'd be so crazy. Zelda in 2023. I mean,
I'm just saying that he makes that character looks broken. Like when I've seen him play, I'm like,
bro, if he makes that character look mid-tier, he's good at the game.
Yeah, bro, you go do with it.
My pick to overperform is going to be Wrath.
That is a great pick.
He is one of the best players in this game, and he just don't go to nothing. And I know he's been grinding with Sonics, which is like one of the best players you can grind with. Because we're all talking about how Steve plays his own game. Sonic plays his own game, bro. You could just learn Sonic stuff because he doesn't have any losing matchups. So if you just practice the even ones, you're going to be beating everyone. Definitely a really hard character, though. Don't get it twisted there. But I think Wrath can definitely overperform. He has the buzz in winners, which is honestly not great. But in losers, he has Kurama. And I do think that Sonic beats Mario.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Then also, really quick, I want to give a shout out to Chase because he's going to beat Mia.
The Chase?
Okay, hold up.
I mean, hey.
Chase might cook, bro.
If Mia gets past Skittles, that is.
Okay, speaking of Skittles, my guy that I have overperforming at this event is actually going to be Nico, who is seeded to fight Skittles to make it into top 64. Nico, SoCal legend, one of the best Shulk players in the U.S. He just doesn't really go out to events all that often anymore.
Oh,
not Texas Nico.
Yeah, I was like, because I was looking at the bracket, and I was like, what? I remember Nico. Yeah.
CKO, not NIKO. Yeah, my bad.
You said speaking of Skittles and brought up Nico, and I was like, what is this guy talking about?
Was blood waffling about right now, bro?
Low-key, because Game & Watch Shulk is bad. Like, that's a really bad match for Game & Watch. Arguably his worst one.
And
Steve is banned.
Let me check his. Oh, Steve's banned. Oh yeah, so he doesn't even have to. He doesn't even have to worry about getting counterpicked right there. Let me check out Nico's record. I know he's from SoCal, obviously, so I'm pretty sure he's played Monte a good amount of times.
Yeah, we have to face Yanni's Luigi though.
Oh, GG.
Oh, it's over for him, bro.
You gotta go get.
Actually, PG Stats saying Luigi his best matchup. So.
Okay. Honestly, that's a really good pick because even though Mia destroys Kome usually, bad matchups are still bad matchups.
Yeah,
and even if he doesn't end up beating Mia, let me see where he pops out in loser side. Because I see him beating Skittles,
Marvelous Marco, but it's losers.
Marvelous Marco, and he same region. I could see him beating Goblin right after as well. If that's how it goes.
Send honestly too.
For real.
Okay, I think that's good pick.
Good pick. Yeah, shout out to Nico, man. Let me peep if he's played.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, is there anyone else we need to mention?
Oh, he actually he 0-5 against Monty. We don't talk about that. No, that's my pick right there though. Rise and grind.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You guys already said yours?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good event overall. Looking forward to watching it. I decided not to go myself, even though it's not too far away. Well, it's like 4 hours for me, so I don't know. Maybe if I end up going to my house, which is like kind of close to it, maybe I'll check it out for a day. We'll see. But either way, I'll be watching it.
Yeah,
if I make it out there or at home, whatever, I'll definitely be watching.
this top 8 is going to be something to watch. And let's talk about a couple players that are supposed to be in this top 8. Riddles. I'm excited to see Riddles come back. How's he going to do? But it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's going to be on Terry, he's probably going to be on Kazuya. But he actually has a very real path to get top 8 winners because he's got Chunky Kong round 1. And yes, Chunky Kong's the GOAT, but Riddles better not lose that.
Yeah.
Then he's got either Jackal or Base Mage. Jackal's actually kind of a tough one, but I would still favor Riddles. And then he's got Gluttony, and I would actually favor Riddles versus Gluttony. I think that's a pretty bad draw for Gluto.
Yeah, it actually looks like a free path to top 8 with the exception of Gluto.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good one.
Yeah, I could definitely see Riddles overperforming. And if Riddles ends up taking it, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Mia is the only opponent that he shouldn't beat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even that, he's beaten Mia before. He beat him at Delta 4, which is crazy that he did that. But it's Kazuya, right? You're gonna get a win.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Gluto versus Mia winners finals or grand finals even. That's something that we don't really see that too often, right? So that'd be cool.
Yeah, NA tournament, Japan and Europe in the top 2.
Yeah,
Mexico in 3rd.
Hopefully get our players to start.
Canada in 4th.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Smash Legends 4 real quick?
Yeah, let's briefly touch on that.
So it's going to be a national, and do what?
The national with is the prelim seating out for it? I'm just trying to find it on the Thief of Light Twitter. Shout out to the Thief of Light. That guy's good. If I don't know what's going on in Smash, I just go to his. Okay, you have Sonics. No, Sonics is at a different B tier.
He's at the Claro Gaming 2023.
You have SkyJ and Spargo. Which
and MVD.
Are definitely the favorites. Yeah, MVD, Rox is there, Waka's there, Alandis is there, Shag's there. You have a lot of really good Mexican players. I mean, pretty much every single good Mexican player except Meister, MK Big Boss, and MK Leo. So that's going to be really interesting. I unfortunately don't know as much about Mexican Smash as I should, but let's go Alandis.
Yeah, no, it's looking like it's going to be a really good event. I think this is probably El Salvador's biggest tournament ever. Got like 230 something entrants, which is really cool. They got you got your top guys, so you got Wolfen and Romeo Santos. Those are going to be the top 2 players from the country, and then both of them are in attendance. It's going to be a Steven Akaziya player. Oh, that's good. That's crazy.
They plan to win.
They plan to win for real. We even have players like like you said, MVD, Chag, Haunter from Guatemala, I believe, Alandis. Like this event, at least the top 8, I think is going to be really awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like this is looking like a Spargo event.
MVD wins this.
Yeah, MVD.
The Rise of Snake.
The Rise.
We're seeing Snake everywhere. We forgot about the OG MVD.
OG Snake. This is the weekend that Snake finally starts getting results. Alandis and MVD are going to do really well.
Yeah.
I mean, Spargo SkyJ is actually a pretty interesting one. Have they played since Collision?
I don't think so. And I'm gonna say I'm still under the conspiracy theory that Spargo threw those sets so that SkyJ would get into Summit. That's my Smash tinfoil on the head theory right there that he throwing for his boy.
I mean, hey, can you blame him?
There's not even a lot to say there. Maybe he's right.
They played at Smash Revolution 2023, and Spargo beat him 3-0 with Violet.
Yeah. So maybe you're right.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a Spargo event. Obviously, I'd love to see Rox. That's going to be my pick to overperform because I said it in an earlier episode. If there's a Sheik player, the Sheik player getting my votes. There's none at Rise and Grind, so Smash Legends 4, Rox. He's going to take home the event. Rio Spargo twice.
Just own
MVD wins this. That's my pick. MVD.
MVP.
It's gonna
There we
shock
go.
the world.
I'll go with Alan as the other snake.
There we go. Hey, it's the Snake and Sheik revolution. I'm going with I'm going with Robot 3050, the other snake player.
Yeah. For Meme.
Or Meme or Yuka. Dude, why are there so many snake players?
A good character.
Yeah, it's like I said, Rise of Snake. Like I said,
It's the week of the snake.
Oh my gosh.
it's gonna be all Snake top 8.
Yo, if Apollo didn't drop out of Rising Grind, he would have won.
Facts though.
Then, really, really quickly, I think we should touch on Claro Gaming 2023. You have Sonics and Capitancito definitely being the main threats to take that. I think my pick to take it, though, would be Omar's. Another snake.
Omar, another snake.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, the only names I recognize there are Capitancito and Sonics. So I'm gonna go with Sonics for this one.
I'm also gonna go with Sonic. You have Sonics rather. You have some of the other top Costa Rica players, like we said, Omar before. Sharpie as well. He was their best player in Smash 4. Taz, I recognize Naranja. So it's going to be a cool little event over there. I'm excited to see the results of that.
Yeah, so
I think
B-tier.
Sonic, yeah, for real. Happy is like the only player that, I mean, he matches well in the Sonics just because they played so much. I definitely feel like Sonics is the best player there. But if we saw Capitancito pick up a dub, then I see I see a world where
there's a very real world where Capitancito at least takes a set.
Yeah,
it's like Light Mars. They've just played each other so many times that the matchup doesn't really matter anymore. It's just player versus player.
That matchup's got to be so fun.
Oh yeah, for who?
For both.
Yes.
Actually, for us too.
It's just a good time all around. And then those are the only like B tier events. There's a couple C tiers as well.
Yeah.
But there's so many C tiers every weekend that we don't want to go over though. I do want to shout out Big Cheese 4 though, because AU scene is good. Those are all the topics we have to cover before everyone's favorite part of the podcast. And is there anything I'm forgetting? The JV grid. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
I think that we're about ready. Let me share my screen real quick. Am I bad to everybody? Keeping my webcam off. I've been having some computer issues for a while now, and I'm feeling like it is the webcam's making a crash right now because I turned it on and crashed before. So
his PC got hit by a baseball.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's why my webcam's off. It's in tribute of JAZARA, actually.
Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah. Very hard again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Tuesday, Trade Wars.
Well, this is great.
You speak Trade Wars' name and he strikes you down. Definitely not someone you want to mess with. All right, so you're going to have players that are placed within top 64 at Frostbite 2020. Mains are secondaries, a character that appeared on the Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, or 3DS. Tag starts with a vowel. Mains are secondaries, a mid-tier from the alt-rank tier list, so B tiers. Player was on the PGRU version 2, which is fall 2019 top 51, and tag is 6 or more characters. And then, Imar, you want to explain how JVGRID works just for the lovelies that don't know?
Yeah, so basically we're just trying to fill in all these cubes here. And basically, if we go with an obvious answer like MKLeo for something, we're not going to get, too many points for that. But if we go with some crazy pick like, I don't know, Little Mac Fan 52, and it turns out that's actually a correct answer, we're going to get lots of points for that. So basically you want to fill these in with the correct answers, but you want to pick the ones that most people wouldn't expect. That way you get the most points.
Exactly.
That's my go. I'm all right there. I was talking all that talk in a winning crowd. Let me
Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I guess it wasn't the webcam making him crash.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the computers just don't like me. So it sounds like Imar explained the game already.
Yeah.
A very hard grid today, as they like to give us on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It doesn't look like we have what was it that we all Battle of BC 5?
No Battle of BC, thank the Lord.
No Battle of BC.
We do have a game one though, but it's only for one row, which is doable.
Yeah, and this one's it's pretty nice. We got Game Boy, DS, 3DS, so we got Pokemon in my head at least.
Like the new Pokemon.
Yeah. So yeah, everything after Gen 3 and beyond. 6 tags or more, and we have to. They were lying. No, for real, huh? That would work. I'm thinking like For this one, I'm thinking like, what's his tag? Gachipi or some shit like that from Japan, the
Gachipi?
Lucario player. Gachipi, yeah.
That'd be a good one, actually.
Lucario player. I
I'm
think
down.
I think that could. Yeah, you guys down for that?
Yeah.
Let's
go.
2.4. That's a W.
That's
That's a W
insane.
pick right there. So we got mains and mid tier character and plays top
Okay,
6.
I'm pulling up the tier list. I don't care.
Okay, yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
know
I'll do
that
too.
I know that Lucky made top 64 at Frostbite 2020 with Piranha Plant, so I don't think that character's considered mid tier on that tier list
Oh,
though.
he's definitely in the bottom tier. I just have it right here. So our B tier has Falcon, Ness, Falco, Corrin, Chrom. Oh, we can do Matty G for Chrom. Hero, Bayonetta, Inkling, Luigi, Rosa, Toon Link, Bowser, Meta Knight, Pitts, Link,
The buzz.
Marth, Pichu, and Climbers.
Pichu? Lucky like in a cat?
Oh, I like that.
I don't know if he did well at Frostbite. I can't remember.
I can't either.
I know Matty G got 17th at Frostbite or top 16 maybe at Frostbite with Chrom.
I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah, I'm cool with it too.
I'm cool with Matty G. Oh, he popped up on here
And
though.
unlucky.
Yeah.
Makes
He just
sense.
doesn't have. Yeah.
For the one below that, we could put Orange, the Link.
Oh.
Right. Let's do that.
4.19.
I thought it was gonna be like a
Yeah, I know.
0%.
I was like, what? Hey, we broke it. I was gonna say for the middle bottom, we could put like Beast Mode Paul as an option.
Was he PGR recent too? Or middle bottom?
No, I'm talking about the middle bottom, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah,
one. There's a lot of good picks for the middle one. Oh,
nice.
Ooh, hey, let's go.
look at that. Crush Gatsby.
Top 64 Frostbite 2020.
Elegant did.
That is hard.
Mhm.
Elegant's the only one I can think of, to be honest. Like that I know for a fact.
I'm down to try. Here, let me see if he'll pop up.
Oh, he does.
I'm down because I think he was on the PGR V2 as well.
I would assume so.
Mid tier.
I actually don't know if he was.
I mean, the mid tier would definitely work because Luigi's on there. So as long as he made top 64.
Yeah, he got like 17th, I think. Or 13th,
Okay,
maybe?
I'll put Elegant.
Alright, I'm down.
Nice.
Well,
9.31, but
Sorry.
Under 10.
We're doing
We'll
good
take
so
it.
far.
Under 10, yeah,
Yeah, for real.
exactly.
PGR V2. That's really what's stumping me right now. I'm trying to think who's really on that.
Cola was, Riddles was, Ron was. Wait, we can do Cola
Myron.
for top 64 at Frostbite.
And was on.
Yeah, he was.
You got top 64?
Mm-hmm. I think that was his breakout run. Oh!
Whoa!
0.95.
That is insane.
That was a deep cut.
It's because he was still called Salt 1. People forgot.
True, yeah.
Yeah, so technically Isabel's a character too, right? That will be due on the DS, right? Because Isabel wasn't in the original Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, but then again, who plays Isabel, right? That starts with a vowel, maybe?
Axel?
Axel, yeah, I think that's
I'm down. We doing it?
If Isabel's on the DS, I trust it.
Yeah.
I never really played Animal Crossing,
Yeah,
so
me neither.
I'm leaving that up to...
I mean, yeah, because she came in New Leaf, so.
Alright,
Okay, for sure.
If
All
you
right.
know, rip it.
Let's
Yeah,
go!
okay.
I'm surprised that has
Yeah,
a
I'm
high
too, honestly.
percentage.
I thought we kind of crushed that one, but that's alright.
Yeah, no, for real.
We got a lot of Axel fans out of here.
We can do, okay, was on
think-
PGR UV2 and 6 letters or more. We could do riddles for that.
That's true.
I feel like a lot of people, because he was ranked like 50 or like
He was
49
he
or
was
something
49.
on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we can go with that.
You guys down to try
I'm
that?
down, I'm down.
Sure.
Nice.
Oh no, the stream's frozen.
Oh, it froze.
Oh no. There we go. 3.6.
Killing it today.
For this season 2 one, I think either Umeki and Abadango are best choices. And I know Abadong was on there. I'm not certain Umeki was, but like surely he was.
I feel like he was. Yeah, and like those are really the only
Those are literally the only two
Only
people
ones
I
I
can
can
think of.
think
I'm gonna
of.
look up the PGR version 2 after this because I literally just can't think of other players.
For sure. Are we gonna lock in Abadongo then, or
Yeah,
do we
I
want to
think
go?
Abadongo.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Makes sense to me.
Like 50%.
Hey, we'll take
Not
it.
bad. Honestly,
16.
not bad.
Yeah, I ain't bad at all.
Oh, now we got top left.
We got this top left. So I'm really stuck on Greninja, dude. I think it's either JW or Leia, one of the two.
I have
We
confidence
can roll
in
with it. I
neither.
personally have no pick at this point because I
Yeah, I have
really
no
don't know.
horse. I have no horse. in
Unless
this
you have
race.
like a dark pit player that you can think of, I got nothing.
I'm picking JW. I feel like he was
For the
there. He was
culture.
like top. He was like top 30 in 2020, bro.
Was he?
Dude, he was good. He was beating. I think he beat Samsora. He beat Ally. I know those are not players that play anymore, but time.
I mean, whatever.
Oh,
Let's go. Only 8.3?
I'm looking at that bracket right
It's
now.
because people had the bracket, bro.
That's crazy.
Ooh, middle right only had
849.
6 answers.
I think this has been our best score
You
so far.
crushed it.
Definitely crushed it.
Yeah, good job, everyone. Leave a comment if you did better than us. I bet you didn't.
For real. Y'all
Nor-
suck.
Yeah,
I'm just
normally
kidding.
that's
You guys
not
are
in our
awesome.
favor, but we finally came out on top. Shout out to JW.
Shout out to JW.
And I'm looking it up
dude.
now. Leah was not at Frostbite.
Dude.
Oh,
Ooh.
the gamble paid off.
Dude, this is such a. What were we? I'm looking at this bracket right now. I'm like, who were we supposed to pick for this? Like, how are there 10 possibilities? Like, what characters came out of these systems that I don't know
Straight
about?
up.
Raven King plays Ike, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of Ikes at Frostbite. Ryuga, Sand got top. Oh no, he got 65th, but Ryuga got top 64.
Interesting.
Okay, so for
Well-
people that were PGR Season 2 and then had a vowel, it was Isam, Abadongo, Etsuji, Umeki. Oh, and Area 51 was included as well. But Area 51 had IM.
Oh, okay.
So our
There
best
we
picks
go.
would have been IM or Etsuji, but I don't remember, so whatever. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good JV grid.
Yeah, that's
And-
probably our best
Yeah,
one
that's
yet,
a
I would
JV
say.
grid.
Oh, for sure.
Getting better every week.
Yeah, on the very hard difficulty too.
I know, that was like the hardest one. It didn't even feel
No,
like it.
you-
I mean, there was just a couple swears, but a
Yeah.
lot of the other ones, there was definitely a lot of answers.
All right, now we get to the weekly segment. We got the character of the week, the comment of the week, and finally our players of the week. Starting with the character of the week. I think JAZARA, you had the pick for this one.
Yeah, so the character for this week, picking Fox. I feel like we had a really good weekend for Fox. Light has basically been carrying the torch by himself for a long time now, and the fact that we got to see another Fox player, Kananabe, Light did get second. Kananabe arguably had a better result than him this weekend, though, and for Light to
Yeah.
get outshined by another Fox player is just the character's in
Literally
really
the
good
first time
hands
it's
right now.
happened.
Yeah, legit. The character's just in good hands. Bright future ahead of the character, and I'm just really watching Kananabe play. I see the future of it now. You know what I mean? Like I always thought it was just Light was just really good with the character. He was just fast and could react quick, but to see it being replicated with somebody else and to pick up wins over players that have given Light trouble in the past is really impressive stuff.
Like, and not even at this event. Like a couple days before this, he beat Mia. Like, Kananabe has shown some pretty incredible resourcefulness in the bad matchups. And Fox is a character that I think analysis paralysis was honestly holding him back for a long time. I think that's what happened to Diddy Kong as well. That there's
Yeah.
so many options that it's hard to pick the correct one always. But now you're having players like Kananabe, those two specifically. Their combo routes are phenomenal because if you're picking the correct extensions, like a forward or drag down here, or maybe reverse up tilt instead of a dash attack, F tilt usage as well, the combo routes are getting so much better.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like what I talked about earlier with Game & Watch, except that with Fox, you don't really have that room for error that you have to get to the Game
Yeah.
& Watch, you know? So
Except you
yeah,
die
you
at
know.
4.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to mix it up. They're doing it the best. And yeah, we're seeing Fox shine, you know, like you said. First time we're really seeing a player besides Light, I mean, really do well at an event like this. And like you said, to get fifth at such a stacked event. The second biggest tournament of the year. Definitely impressive.
Yeah, just like an insane run. Like Fox is a character that's like always had good. Like Passerman's popped up from time to time.
Mhm.
Even prior to this, Kananabe's had good results, but this is a peak from the characters that we haven't seen aside from Light.
Yeah.
That makes me very excited. And then, like, where would y'all put Fox on a tier list?
A top 10 for sure.
Top 10? I have him top 15. Little pessimist.
Yeah, I would say top 15.
But I think top 10 is fine.
As a Sheik player, I see the
Yeah.
potential in characters. So that's outside of
I play
like
Snake, so I can just
you know, exactly. Yeah. So
he's a character
Different
that
piece
is
for
very. It's like he has a massive flaw. He's one of those top tiers that does have a really big flaw in how light he is and how bad his recovery is.
Mhm.
But that's it. Everything else is like incredible. And it's not like we've seen characters that don't have or that have flaws like not have success. Like Aegis has a massive flaw. Cloud, I'd argue, has a massive flaw. Kazuya has a massive flaw. It's fine to have a big flaw when you make up for it so well.
yeah, for Fox, like we said, he does have the very glaring weakness, but his punish game's also ridiculous. Like it's not as easy as a Kazuya, but like when you get it down, like you watch Kananabe and Light play, and it's like, okay, I don't know what the opponent's even supposed to do right here. Like they're just on every movement, every read, like they're on it, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we kind of said everything about Fox. That character's just busted. One more thing I wanted to add. I feel like Light, he used Fox in Smash 4, and he was very good with him. I feel like that's why we saw Light do so good at first, but I think we're going to be seeing more and more Fox players pop up over this year and next year. One of those characters, Game & Watch, really easy to play, so obviously he saw results early on. Same with Steve. Just saw results pretty early on because they're pretty easy to pick up and play, but Fox has a big skill ceiling. So I think as more people are getting better, and
he's a late game
they have
character for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
and they have a whole nother player to watch now. So
yeah, the Fox player base just doubled this weekend.
just double for real. We got our players of the week now.
Let's do this last. I want to do the comment of the week really quick
sure.
first.
Sounds good.
Then let's Imar. Did you have anything else to add?
No, not really. Definitely like you said, Fox is one of those characters that takes time to develop. One thing that's interesting, maybe for another discussion, that I always just kind of think about, is just I always kind of wonder as the game goes on, if top players are ever gonna like just randomly like pick up other characters and like just that kind of whole discussion seems cool to me. The thought of maybe people that always soul man a character picking up a co-main or things like that. So it's interesting to see like how these characters develop and if that has any kind of impact on people's decisions to play other characters as well.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a little spoilers. I don't even think I've told you all about this. We are guaranteed at some point going to have an episode where we talk about the most carried top player. Guaranteed. But let's move on to the comment of the week. And that's going to be from GG Nicklu. Do you guys think that Watch the Throne will ever get bigger than Summit at its peak?
Ooh.
I think it's tough to tell right now. But I think the problem with Watch the Throne, that compared to Summit, at least just in terms of pure marketing, is it's an organization. Summit has the Counter-Strike stuff. They're going to have the Valorant stuff that they did with Ludwig and Tarek. They're going to have League events. Dota. They've had so many years of non-Smash stuff. And then they had like 10 Melee summits. And then they have Ultimate Summit. So they already have so much branding going into it. But Watch the Throne is just a Smash event. So I think the answer is going to be no, because it can't. But I think it can reach similar status of terms of like the. I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
He's in the community. I think.
Yeah,
it's going to be harder to re-replicate the brand that Summit was able to build, because Summit was. Right. It was more than a tournament. It was an event. It was something that people went out of their way to take time off of work to go and watch for the weekend. Like it was more than just a tournament where really good people are going to pull up and play at. Like there's just a lot to it. And like Imar and Proof had mentioned, years of Dota and Counter-Strike and all these other kinds of tournaments and dipping their toes in different communities and getting an idea of what it takes to really run a good event. I'm not saying this event's going to be bad. I gave them $130 to go to it for the weekend. You know what I mean? So I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be
I definitely agree with that. Basically everything you guys said. The only possible way I see it ever getting bigger than Summit would be if this is something that continues to go on, and then we get into another Smash game, and then
Yeah.
somehow Nintendo makes their way back into we want to sponsor this. You know what I mean? That's the only way I would see it ever surpassing Summit, because then at that point it gets kind of exposed to the general audience, the casual audience, and all of that. But you know, as far as because the other thing, you know, it's always going to be compared to Summit. You know,
Yeah,
you're always going to have people now that say, "Oh, nothing's going to be Summit. Summit's the OG." It's like that with anything, you know. Anytime something new comes out and there's a comparison to be made, you're going to have some people that
won't hate.
yeah, exactly. So I don't think it'll ever be bigger, and like I said, unless Nintendo somehow gets involved, which is definitely not happening for Ultimate. So for right now, I mean, I think it's going to be a great event, but I think it's going to be kind of its own separate thing, just kind of ran into similar style. as
yeah,
Summit.
like for the foreseeable future, it shouldn't be bigger because
Yeah.
I mean, if they can beat Summit by their first or second event, what are we doing? Why haven't we been doing this since the start?
Exactly. Exactly.
Master Tios. So I think you got to give them a couple years down the road, if even like you may need more of that because Summit just had
Yeah.
such a head start. But I think in terms of how it's run and the reception of the event, I'll see them being very similarly like well regarded in the community.
Yeah, I think so as well. And more Smash conspiracy theories here.
Okay.
EE and you know like that whole group right there. They got relations with Nintendo. You know they commentate Nintendo events. Maybe you
Oh my
know
god.
they're going and trying. He be pushing like he always DreamCon or whatever the hell it was called that Nintendo was
Yeah.
sponsored with. He was like pushing that thing big time.
Shouts to E. He's doing that Nintendo work that the rest of the community is trying so hard to
Yep.
Yeah, and you know,
destroy.
Smash is a community very self-destructive
Oh.
when it comes to getting new
Oh, yeah.
opportunities. So
Even old opportunities.
I appreciate somebody shilling out for us a little bit and trying to get Nintendo.
Yeah.
And as somebody, you know, I feel like EE is about the money. Obviously, I feel like everybody who's
yeah.
been in the space for that long wants money, but he has the community's interests in mind as well.
Yeah, for sure. He's
Which I
somebody that's been
really-
around for the longest time.
Yeah, Melee Brawl,
you know,
for Ultimate.
Yeah, definitely a figurehead and you know, just a role model in general, I would say within the community. So definitely one of those people that is able to make things happen, you know. EE, you got Hungry Box doing all kinds of things, you know. Yeah, they have their own interests in mind as well, but they've been a part of this community. They know what's best for the community, and I don't think they would make decisions that would hurt that. So
I agree.
I mean, I agree. Real quick, I want to talk about it. We kind of touched on this earlier, but we didn't get into all the details. Hungry Box was talking about making like a Smashmate, like his own version of it or whatever, and he was getting a lot of flack from people on it, like, we're getting more support from crypto companies, like this is and I'm like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of crypto either. I understand the speculation and all the hate behind it, but like Hungry Box said, if you can find another company that's willing to put $250,000 in a year for online events, like go find it, man. Like as far as Coinbase has not negatively impacted the Smash community at all.
Yeah, I'll steal that crypto money every day of the week. Are you kidding me?
Exactly,
I'll
bro.
take it
If you pay me in USD and not coin, bro, I'll take it. I don't care.
As long as it's in USD, I don't care where it's from. We need that bag super bad. And speaking of bag, we're gonna talk about the players of the week, and my player of the week is going to be Little Mac Main. They did their best, but they couldn't get Toraguri in, or not Toraguri, Terakatori. Literally a one-man army, thousands of dollars, and you didn't get Terakatori in, but you did get a shout out on the 4th biggest Smash podcast of all time. So hopefully that makes up for it.
For real. You want to go next, Imar?
You can go next.
Okay, sure. My player of the week, in the same vein as Proof, mine's going to be WebJP, making it into Watch a Throne, as well as getting a 4th place over there at bairs 400. Just very impressive stuff all around from him. Great player, great mentality, seems like a cool guy as well. I love some great Sheik play, and I'm glad that he got in, because I know that he's a player. He's going to take this seriously. He's really going to go and practice and grind and go out of his way to get some experience for this event and practice for his matchups. So shouts to Webb, shouts to Sheik. Love to see it.
Well, for me, I'm gonna go with I guess the obvious pick. Shoutouts to Mia for accomplishing, you know, the goal that he has set out to do, which is beat Acola and win his first KAGARIBI. And like I said, you know, it's really impressive. Really for any player to win a tournament of this stature. But especially in the fashion that he did it, not dropping a game until Acola, basically, and just further proving that consistency. I think it's really cool to see all these different players do well in Japan. Like we said, some players do good, some do bad. T, he has good days, he has bad days. But I think, especially within recent months, Mia and Nicola just always at the top, like always.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except this time it's just reverse. Mia's at the top this time. So very
Yeah,
cool to see.
just like to piggyback off that, the storyline that happened at KAGARIBI is so cool because like Akala's breakup major, KAGARIBI 7, he wins that, no one sees it coming. Mia does the exact same thing at KAGARIBI 8. You get the run back at KAGARIBI 11, and Mia finally beats him because he's been choking it so hard.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be a very good rivalry, just in Smash in general, because these guys aren't falling off. I can guarantee that right now. They ain't going anywhere. You're gonna see a lot more sets between them.
I almost wish that Acola was going to Horizon Grind too.
Yeah.
Even though Steve is banned, imagine if he wins the
Aegis
tournament
one.
not playing Steve.
If he
Just
won with
imagine.
Aegis, I think all the slander would immediately
Yeah, that would
be dropped on.
No, are you kidding? Oh, dude, DLC Pack 2, Aegis top 3, he's so broken, he's so carried. The Slack Akala can never escape it. Unless he goes to DK, then people would finly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then people would
I
be
miss
like,
the DK.
wow, he just teased out the one with
Wow,
Donkey Kong,
cheese.
can he?
This guy, all he can do is cargo throw ding dong people, so cheesy.
So cheesy, let's go.
All right, do we have any final words before we wrap it up?
Dude,
Really?
just want to say, I feel like I say it every episode, but shout out to everybody who has been checking out the podcast, been supporting it, dropping support on it. We really appreciate it. We bunch of dudes who like to talk about Smash, talk about the competitive scene. So it's awesome that we have a platform to be able to do that, and people who actually take time out of their day to come and listen to us. So shouts to all you guys. Be sure to leave any comments, suggestions, what you thought was funny, wasn't funny. You want more conspiracy theories, more different parts of the show, whatever, man. Just let us know what you want. We're listening. I read the comments on every video. I know Proof does. I'm sure Imar does too. Where we all go and make sure that what you guys are saying is being read. So never feel like you're just commenting to the void.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, there's three of us. We're all checking the comments and things like that. So if you put a suggestion there and we like it, we'll put it in for sure. This week we had lots to talk about. This is probably one of our longer episodes just because such a big tournament just happened. We got Rise and Grind coming up, lots of things to talk about. But there are going to be weeks where there's nothing going on. There's no tournaments happening. So just to have those ideas already set in stone, that way whenever we bring in guests and things like that, we have those ideas set in place. Definitely feel like you have some input as well, because you definitely do. That's what the comments are for. So definitely let us know what you want to see in the future.
Yeah, and then if you're still here for watching, thanks for sticking by. This one, as Imar said, long, 2 hours longer, or it's over 2 hours at least in terms of recording. So we'll see what it is in the final production. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. If you haven't subbed already, please, you made it this far. Surely you enjoyed it. And yeah,
for real.
That's all I really got to say. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Check out the next episode of the Gnarly Smashers podcast.
Yeah.